Hey sis, come on in, girl. Come on in. Welcome to my new series. First of all, excuse my background. I really wish I could give you a display of my little home library, but I don't have that at this moment, and I don't have the space. So, currently, right now, I mean, in the future, things are gonna change. Okay, I'm gonna get my little spots, but right now, it is what it is. So, yes, welcome. I am starting a new series, a new chat, and it's gonna kind of be like bookish chats. Okay, it won't be book reviews, but bookish chat. So one of my hobbies, apart from being the wonderful wife and mother that I am, I like to read books. I like reading books more than I like not like I like reading books more than I watch TV. So that's just my preference. I mean lately, of course, like with life, I don't get to read as often. But yeah, so I'm just gonna just do bookish chats and just share what I've been reading or what I'm going to read. Okay, so a little bit about my book palette. I honestly always prefer, since a teenager, black history, books about black history, black American fictional books or historical black fiction books. And then there's romance, of course. I love a good romance. And then after romance, it would probably be just, basic fictional books. Um, but lately, I've wandered off into like mystery and thrillers, not so much horror. I don't even like watching horror movies or shows. Like, I don't like being scared for no reason. So, not my cup of tea. But I did read my first post, my first Christian apocalyptic zombie book. Like, yeah, you heard me. Christian post. Damn, I can't even say it. It was a Christian post-apocalyptic zombie book. It was weird, but it was pretty good. Pretty good by a black author, of course. But it was captivating. I kept picking it up. So, and I am going back to reading physical copy books. I was reading on my Kindle, on my iPad, not iPad, girl, stop it, on my Samsung pad, notepad, whatever it's called. But just, girl, the way my eyes is be twitching lately. Okay, I am a mother to, I'm a wife and I'm a mother to a 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So it was just more convenient reading on my pad, my tablet, but like I said, the way my eye be twitching lately, no. So I'm going back to physical copies of books, and I ordered some physical copies of books. Okay, so I have 5 books that I ordered that I want to share. And then one book I am reading with my 7-year-old. Okay, she came to me. She was like, "Hey, Ma, let's start a book club." And sure, because she was like, you don't have no friends, so let's start a book club. So yeah, so reading one book together. So, and because the way my life is set up, I highly doubt that I will be able to read all 5 books in 1 month. Shout out to those people. Like, if you have a family and you able to read 5 books in 1 month, what's your secret? Do you stay up all night? Do you get sleep? How do you do it? All right, but so yeah, I'm gonna share about the 5 books. I'm also share the book that me and my daughter is reading. So okay, so the first book that I started reading is called The American Queen, and this book, The American Queen by Vanessa Miller. So The American Queen is based on actual events, like one of my one of my favorite topics or subject matters. Actual events that occurred between 1865 through 1889, and shares the unsung history of a black woman who built a kingdom in Appalachia. So I started this book. I'm not that deep into it, but once you start reading, you really get hit with you know, everything you pretty much learned, if you know, about the enslaved people. So yeah, it's that type of book. So you might get a little emotional. Um, but other than that, it's good. I'm not enjoying it, but you know, I'm liking what I'm reading. I like learning about, like I said, I like learning about the history of my people, the people that came before me. You know, hearing about the actual voices from people who lived during, you know, certain periods of times, whether it was during the times people were enslaved, or during the 80s with the Black Panthers. I read a Sada book. I read, you know, those are the type of books that I really gravitate towards and like reading. Okay, so the next book that I have is a historical fiction. Now, this book was recommended by two booktubers on YouTube. I don't watch too many people, so this book was recommended by the two that I do watch. Now, I'm sure I'm really late to the party, extremely late to the party with some of these books that's been recommended, but it's all good. Like, anyways, this book came recommended, highly recommended, and I heard that it's a very, very difficult read because the events that are detailed in this book and what it's about is a bit, it's traumatizing. So let me just give you some, and these are just, I'm reading like snippets from reviews, not reviews, but I guess what people said about it. So The Yellow Wife by Sadika Johnson is a historical fiction about an enslaved young woman who was promised freedom, but you know how that went. And she ends up in a jail in Richmond, Virginia, and yeah, it goes into, you know, pretty sad details from there. So I am going to read this. I'm looking forward to reading it. There's that one. Okay. Now, as I am trying to expand my palette and, you know, get into other things, horror, like I said, horror is really not my cup of tea. But I did pick up Jackal by Aaron Adams. Now, this book is a book about a young girl that goes missing in a white Rust Belt town. And but she's not the first, and it says that she's not the last. So I'm interested in reading this one because it's about, you know, missing Black girls and going missing in white towns, and I think this genre of the genre of this book is like thriller mystery. So yeah, I've heard some good things about this one without giving it all the way. I didn't dig too deep. I didn't go too deep into reviews and things like that, but I've been told, like, yeah, you want to read this one. So there's that one. Now the next book that I have is Take My Hand by Dolene Perkins Valdez. Yep, Dolene Perkins Valdez. So Take My Hand is inspired by true events that rocked the nation. A searing and compassionate new novel about Black nurses in post-segregation Alabama who blows the whistles on terrible injustice done to patients. Okay, so this one's interesting. This one's definitely piqued my interest because as a woman who, you know, of course, you know, I have to go to the doctor for, you know, every, you know, basic needs, physicals and all that. But my first time giving birth was just, it was first time giving birth in a hospital. My first labor and delivery, I did not have a good experience. They were trying to send me home when I knew my baby was on the way. Like, I know my body. I'm very in tune with my body. And I knew, like, they're like, oh, no, you're not about to send me home. No, I'm staying here. You try to move me if you want to, but this baby is coming. Like, yeah. So, and that's just been other things, you know, from my experience as a Black woman, trying to seek care from the hospitals and doctors, and, you know, just being very dismissive about my pain and all that. So I'm very interested in reading about this one, and, you know, we gonna see. Okay. Oh, I thought that was my baby getting off the bus. Well, not my baby, but my daughter. So the next book is Bittersweet by Rhonda McKnight. Now, I read the first, well, I don't think that was her first book, but I read her other book. That one was called The Thing About Home, and I enjoyed that book. I love a good romance. I do. I call myself a hopeful romantic. I love a good romance, especially when I'm reading all this history and, you know, traumatizing stuff. I'm missing the book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I got a little distracted. But yeah, especially when I'm reading all that stuff, I need something to, like, love. But apparently, well, that was the other book, The Thing About Home. That was a love story. Now this one, Bittersweet, I think I got a little off track because I don't think this was about love. I don't think this was about love. This one's about two sisters who end up going to take care of their ailing grandfather, and they end up learning about family secrets, and secrets come out. You know, they're grieving. It's about the bonds of sisterhood, and I really enjoy reading books about sisterhood because it really makes me, it really makes me think, like, okay, you and your family are not the only people that's tripping. Other people go through stuff. So yeah, this is like about, two sisters, sisterhood, and secrets, and family issues, and, they're grieving. So looking forward to reading this one. I recently read a book about sisters and geez, what was it called? Let me not get off, okay? Let me not, because I don't have the book right now. So, okay, those are my 5 personal books that I'm going to be reading. And like I said, I'm probably not going to read them by the end of June. Because on top of that, I do have a book club with my 7-year-old, okay? And this is the book that me and her are going to be reading. Now, my 7-year-old reads chapter books. She goes in. She tries to read some of my books sometimes. I'm like, girl, chill. Let's get you some sort of age-appropriate books that you can read. So we are reading The Secret Library. We just started. And so far, so good. It's pretty interesting. It's about a 11-year-old girl. She loses her grandfather, and her mom's different. Her mom's really different. More like, her mom is very business-like. So this little girl is trying to be a little girl, and she misses her grandfather, I'm sure, and she's trying to live a little, but her mom is like trying to build her up in the family business, and she just wants to breathe a little and to be a child. So yeah, we just started this though, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of this is about. And what was I gonna say? It gets so stuffy in here, good lord. But so yeah, so I mean, I always read before my daughter, because this, books like these, I just want to, make sure it's, chill and nothing crazy, because like I said, these are not so kiddie like her age. She's 7. This is about 11-year-old girl, which I don't mind, Like I said, she can read these chapter books, girl. But you know, I always read before her so I know what's coming, and if there is something inappropriate, yeah, yeah. So that is all. That's all I wanted to share. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna see how many books I can read, in a month. I mean, pre-kids in a family, I probably definitely can take down about 5 to 6 books in 1 month. But yeah, the way life is now, and it's warmer outside. Yeah, we outside a lot. So yeah, that is it. If you have any other recommendations, please leave some comments below. And thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching. And I'm looking forward to these little bookish chats. Okay, that is all, sis. Let me let you go. Right? Please and blessings. God bless you, and I love you. Bye.